Welcome back once again to another wine time.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Here we are on another Friday night with the Miclettes on this wine time.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us once again. Thank you for being part of our weekend. I don't know, man. It's kind of like a cool way to lead into the weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So get your drinks. We are sipping on our juice here. We're trying to be fancy. That's all it is. We're just sipping on some pink drink.
I'm drinking Tropicana, okay?
Okay, that's what it is. I couldn't remember the name. I could not remember the name for nothing. I was like, what is this? What is this? But it's pink. That's all I could tell you.
Got my little birthday glass.
There you go.
It's still Scorpio season.
It's still Scorpio season.
All month.
You know, and even when it's not Scorpio season, it's still Scorpio season. Because you know how Scorpios
and you know
do.
This. You know
Man.
this. But anyway, so thank you again for joining us for our wine time for another episode of Your and My Perspective. And I'm Sherri, and this is Joseph.
Hello, hello, hello.
And if you're just joining us for the first time to the channel, so every Friday we're trying to do a little something called wine time where we discuss a few topics, you know, get his perspective, my perspective, and we set the clock for 2 minutes, and we're going to increase the time to about 2 minutes and 45 seconds because 2 minutes and 30 is not enough. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 minutes and 45 seconds for each topic.
I apologize.
That's in between the both of us.
I apologize.
So,
all right.
So question number 1.
Let's hear it.
Is chivalry dead? Let me set my timer. Hold on. And go.
Is chivalry dead?
Is it dead with you? I mean, you know, you're...
No, I don't think so. This is such a hard question for me to answer because, unfortunately, I have never been... I've never been the most romantic person in my life. And I can only thank this amazing, beautiful woman, this amazing, beautiful soul for sticking with me over all these years. But I have made the effort. I have tried. Unfortunately, I don't consider myself to be the most romantic. However, I love the hell out of her, you know. But to that point, I don't think it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I think that there are still certain things that you can do that qualify under the title of chivalry that I think you still see, you know, whether it's opening the doors for your significant other, whether it's, you know, pulling out their chair, helping them to the door. You know, when you come home from work, I try to help with whatever I can that you may have in your hand. So I think those little things, those little signs of chivalry are definitely alive, and I think that other people are doing them. Other men are doing them.
I mean, I hope so.
I think so. I think so.
All right. Well, so like you said, you're not the most romantic, but you do a lot of chivalrous things, even if you don't think you do, you know, like he always opens my door, and like you said, he you know, he walks me to the door, sees me out every morning, and, you know, opens the door for me, holds my things. As soon as I walk in the house, he's, you know, trying to grab the things from me. If there is a chair, he does try to pull it out. So, you know, and you know, once in a while he'll buy me a card or something, and he might hold on to it for a year. But I guess it's the thought that counts. You know, I've found like Christmas cards he's bought me, and like just thank you cards, and I'm like, you've held this for a whole year. Are you going to fill it out and give it to me? And then, oh God, it's the whole ordeal. But anyways, you know, according to my single female friends, I don't know, chivalry might be kind of dying, but
maybe it's just their experience.
Maybe.
Like, because I'm going to be real. I was not taught that. I was not shown that. I didn't learn that from anybody. You know what I mean? Like, who had to teach me? Right? Like, straight up. I didn't learn chivalry from any other male role model. You know what I mean? I didn't have that. I did not have that.
So in turn, yeah.
I wasn't even exposed. Honestly, I wasn't even exposed to chivalry. But I learned that from her. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't learn that from anyone. So.
All right. So now it's your turn.
Woo, we're getting deep.
Question.
We're getting really real on this Friday
we went
night.
way over time.
Yeah. So, it bees like that sometimes.
All right. So question number 2.
All right, here we go. Wow. Get your drink. Get your drink right now, please. Press pause. Go get your drink. Here we go. I got mine. Get
okay,
yours.
what is it?
Doing a hall pass.
Oh.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Read the rest of it.
Doing a hall pass with your partner.
All right, let's go ahead and press play on this.
I'm so good.
All right,
Man,
all right.
I'm so glad I don't have to go first
Okay.
on this question.
All right.
On this topic. Let me just sit back.
So yeah, this is a no. This is a hard no. Not a soft no. This is a hard no in regards to doing, a hall pass for your partner. So for those of you who don't know what a hall pass is, if you do, hopefully you've seen the movie, which was hilarious. But
hold up, this says a hall pass with your partner.
but it's giving your partner a hall pass.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Right. So basically, giving your significant other a week to do whatever they want. So whether that's interact with
members of the opposite sex or same sex
and whatever they want to do, basically, for that whole week. So for me, yeah, it's a hard no. I think, because who's to say, like, okay, I give you this hall pass for a week, and then you're gonna come back, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, it's out my system. No, at some point it's probably gonna be back in your system, and you're gonna be asking for another one. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not trying to open those doors. So for me, that's a hard hell no.
Can you do me a favor and take the whole 2.5 minutes, please?
No.
Please?
I don't need 2.5 minutes to say no. All right, go ahead. What's your perspective, sir? You a little parched?
Yeah, I had a drink to that one first. Whoever sent that one in, got you. Yeah, no. No. I have to agree. I have to side with you on this. I think you bring up a really good point, right? Getting it, quote unquote, out of your system. There is no out of your system. It's always in you, right? Mm-hmm. If you are going to want to step out on your spouse, it's gonna always be there. Now, this is where communication comes in, right? Because once again, if there's open lines of communication in which, in a loving, trusting, respectful relationship, there is ever any inclination that one person or the other person ever wants to explore in a relationship or encounters, or you know what, an entanglement with another person just to get it out their system, that's where I think that conversation must happen, in which it is respectfully discussed of what are options. Because going and saying, look, I just want to do this for myself is very selfish. And that compromises not just the relationship, but in my opinion, it also compromises the other person for now feeling like, what about me?
Yeah, and especially if someone is kind of guilting the other party into giving them a hall pass.
For sure.
And that person kind of gives in because they think like, okay, well, what if I lose him if I say no? Or what if I lose her if I tell her no? Like, bye.
Yeah.
As my son does.
Yeah,
Bye.
You're on the same team or you're not.
All right.
Yeah.
So no, that's both of our perspectives. All right. So now let's go on to the last question.
Oh no, you're picking.
Oh,
I just
okay.
picked. Whew. Thank goodness I did not have to go first on that one, y'all. If you feel it with me, take a sip of whatever you're drinking right now.
All right. So this can piggyback off of what we just went over.
Oh, God.
It is insecurities in a relationship.
Oh man.
What's your perspective on those? And start.
Insecurities in a
relationship.
relationship. Well, there are many different insecurities that can arise in a relationship. A specific person, a person in a relationship may have specific insecurities about themselves. Mm-hmm. It could be a body image insecurity. It can be a masculinity or femininity insecurity. It can be an insecurity about intellect. There are so many different insecurities that somebody can bring into a relationship in which can really prevent a relationship from developing into so many different beautiful avenues. And I think that is something that really needs to be addressed. I think we're finding so many more conversations now about trauma and insecurities that are being put out there in the open and openly discussed, in relationships. That is important because so many people, and myself included, have walked into relationships where you feel insecure about yourselves. And again, there's so many layers to that insecurity that it can harm the relationship, but it can also creep back into a relationship if not openly discussed at some point. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. There's so many different insecurities that can, be brought into a relationship. And if it's not something that is discussed and kind of the person with the insecurities doesn't, kind of check that issue before kind of getting into a relationship or fix whatever the insecurity is before getting into a relationship, then that can definitely, pull the relationship down and kind of ruin it because, people aren't always going to want to. I mean, they will definitely try, but the only way for the insecurities to stop is for that, the person with them to kind of heal themselves. But, it does get tiring, always coming around and trying to reassure somebody of something, whether that's intellect or their body image or, whatever the case may be, whether they're feeling, emasculated or something. So, constantly having to reassure somebody of something that basically comes from within them it's a hard thing to do. But, that's a very tricky subject because insecurities show their heads in so many different ways. So,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How do you address that topic? Like, if you're the significant other, how do you address that topic of, look, I've told you 100 times, I'm okay with this, right? How do you address that to where you feel like that person with the insecurity is now okay with it? And says, okay, I've healed myself. Like, how do you begin that healing process? You know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to have to seek help for it. I mean, I guess it just depends on what that issue is. There's a lot of, women with insecurities about, like, being cheated on. So they always think the next man or the next, if you're a man and you've been cheated on and the next woman is going to come do the same thing. So, you're constantly, like, trying to reassure somebody. That's something that no one else can really change or handle for that person. That's something they're gonna look inside and be like, okay, look, I'm paying attention to this person's actions and I see that they are really for me and they're, that's really all you can do. Like, sometimes action is what's gonna have to happen. Sometimes you might have to go seek professional help, depending on what it is or what what trauma it came from. So once again, you definitely have to look inside yourself and find out, what am I insecure about and why?
and try to, fix it from there.
And what was the source, right? Where was that source? What started it?
Yeah.
Woo, we're getting deep. We're getting deep on a Friday night. So,
but that concludes our wine time, and cheers to you.
Cheers to you, birthday queen.
Yes. So, hopefully you enjoyed yourself with us tonight, and you had your little juice with you. But, like, subscribe, share, drop us a comment, and let us know if there's any topics that you want us to put in our bucket here and, discuss on a Friday. And
we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're enjoying these Friday night wine time. His and her,
yours,
and
my
his perspective on these topics. And let's have some fun, y'all.